Okay, part two of the review. So, I like to tell myself that my students enjoy my random banter about random things because, it's charming and whatnot, right? I don't know. If you don't, oh well, this is as close to being stuck in a classroom with me as I can get. But, yeah, I'll save my other story that I will tell you to the third part of this video or later. I don't know. Anyways, let's get going. Okay, so there's something I forgot from the last section that is important. It is converting degrees into radians. It's really easy, but it's a little confusing because it's the first time you've done it. So let's say we want to convert 60 degrees into radians. So what you do is there's this key that you have to use. The key is 180 and pi, right? So the trick is which one goes on top. Is it 180 over pi? Is it pi over 180? Well, it depends on what you're doing. If I'm converting degrees into radians, that means I want there to be pi. You always want pi, right? So we want there to be pi, which means pi goes on the top and the 180 goes on the bottom. Okay? So we multiply 60 by pi over 180. Leave it as a fraction. Do not turn it into some weird decimal. Okay? So in the end, I am always going to have a pi. Radians always have pi in them somewhere. Okay. So then what I want to do is, well, what is 60 over 180? Can I reduce this? Of course I can. I can divide this by 60, which makes it a 1. I can divide this by 60, which makes it 3. So 60 degrees is the same as pi over 3 radians. Okay, let me do one more of these. Actually, I'm going to do one going the other way. Let's say 2 pi over, let's do 2 pi over 5. No, I want to do something normal. We'll do 2 pi over 3. 2 pi over 3. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now, so like this is the normal way where everybody wants pi. This is the crazy low carb like CrossFit way. I want to get rid of the pi. Or maybe you ate the pie and you're trying to like cover up your tracks. But anyways, we want to get rid of the pie. Degrees, there are no pies. Degrees is your CrossFit crazy person. Okay? Sorry to all you CrossFit crazy people out there, but I need me some pie. Anyways, so for these, I want to get rid of the pi. And so that means I'm going to have 180 over pi. Because when you have pi on the bottom, the pi's go away. So now let's reduce and cancel all that goodness. The pi's go away. I'm going to say, what is 180 divided by 3? Well, that is 60. And now we're left with 2 times 60, 120 degrees. So 2 pi over 3 is the same thing as 120 degrees, which makes sense because look, 60 degrees is pi over 3, so 2 of these would just be 2 times that. And that's how you convert from degrees to radians and radians to degrees. Okay, so just remember, normal people, when you have degrees, you want radians, so that means you want your pi. When you're going into degrees, that's when you've eaten your pi, or you're doing CrossFit, you want to get rid of it, whatever. And so you have pi on the bottom. Okay, radians want pi, degrees no pi. Okay, done. On to the next section. Next section is about the equations. There's really only one equation in this whole section, and it's a pretty easy equation. Um, I hate saying that because like a lot of this stuff seems really easy to me. So here we go. Here's your tangent for this video. So I was like, my wife has convinced me that I should try and go get a master's in statistics because, hey, statistics are awesome, which I agree, statistics are awesome, but like everyone is saying they're a statistician right now because so many people die from the corona and so many people die, blah, blah, blah. No, we need real statisticians. Anyways, master's in statistics, and so I had to like, she's like, do you want to take the math GRE, which GRE is graduate, I don't know, but it's like the SAT except for grad school. And I was like, I don't want to take a math GRE. That's gonna be really hard. That I looked at, I was like, oh no, this is easy, but easy for me because I know math. Anyways, so yeah, easy for me because I'm a math teacher. Maybe not easy for you, which is why I teach this stuff and do it over and over again. How much have I rambled? Okay, only at 5 minutes. Cool. Equation. So the equation for this one section is just the equation of a circle. All right, so the equation for the circle looks like this. It is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals radius squared. Okay, so a couple tricks with this. There's two squares because if there was only one, it'd be a parabola. So remember there's that section on parabolas. If there's two squares, that means it curves and then it curves again, which makes it a circle. Also, with a circle, you will use the Pythagorean theorem. That's how, because every circle, any point on the circle, you can use a triangle. And look, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, so a couple tricks. Another thing to remember. So x, this number that's in here with your x, that is the x value of the center of your circle. Okay, the number in here with y, that is the y value of the center of your circle. Okay, the x values with x, the y values with y. If you can remember that, you're like halfway there. And this is the radius squared. Don't forget the squared part. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. Everything's squared. All right, let me give you an equation. Let's say x plus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 64. Okay? So I'm going to say, well, what is the center of this circle? Well, the x value of the center is right in here. But, hey, look, that's minus h. That's plus h. And we're back after some technical difficulties. Okay, so I don't totally know where it cut off, but we'll just go here. So this is our equation for a general circle. X minus h, remember the number with the x is your x value of the center, the number with the y is the y value of your center, and then your radius. Okay, here we go. We got x plus 3. So important thing to notice, this is x plus 3. This says x minus h. That minus h means that this sign is always flipped. So for the center of this circle, it's going to be the opposite number of this. So the x value is going to be negative 3. Okay? So this is the y value. And look, it's a negative, just like that one, which means it's opposite, like always. So that number is always opposite. So that means it's going to be positive 5. So the center of the circle would be at negative 3, 5. So if I wanted to draw this circle, which you don't have to on the test, but just so you know, I would go negative 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's the center of my circle. Okay, last part of this is the radius, okay? The radius says 64. That's not the radius because this is radius squared. So that means this is the radius squared. So what number, when it's squared, makes 64? That's right. The radius is equal to 8. So if I was drawing a circle, again, you're not doing that on the test, but I'm going to do it right now. I would go from the center and I would count 8 spaces down, left, right, and up to give me my 4 directions, make a big plus, and then make a circle as best as I can. And so again, or say you were looking at a circle and you want to figure out what the radius is, you find a place that is on the edge, ideally directly below or directly to the side of the center. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's there at, what's that, negative 3? Amber alert. That's fun. Yeah, just got an Amber alert, so if you remember when that happened, that's when I'm recording this video. Anyway, so that's the radius, and I would draw a circle all the way around, okay? So if I was giving you a circle and asking you for the equation, here's what I would do. I would find the center. I would write x, whatever number the x value is, just change the sign. So if this center was, say, let's do one real quick. Let's say the center was right here at, we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So at 6, 1. Okay, so we'll say this point is 6, 1. Right, and the circle goes up 3 spaces. Sure. And then goes all the way around. Say I wanted to come up with an equation for that. Okay, so if I wanted to come up with an equation for that, what I would do is I would take this equation and I would just replace it with these values. So I would say x, the x value is 6. I'm going to use the opposite, so I'm going to say minus 6 squared. Okay, now I'm going to go to the y. Y, the y value is 1. I'm going to do the opposite, so I'm going to say minus 1. squared equals the radius. So the radius is 3. So depending on how you want to write it, you'll either say the radius is 3, so I would say 3 squared, or I would say equals 9. Okay? Really just depends on the test. Like if how it's asking you for. Is it asking for the length of the radius, or is it asking for the equation, like what's written there? Don't worry, I'll be clear on the test when I'm asking what I want. That's it for the second section. Okay? It's pretty easy. So like I said, we have the radians from the first part, but then it's really just this circle equation. Let me double check. I don't think I put any parabola problems on here. And I didn't. So, cool. You're done. That's section 2. All right, stopping the video. We're going to do section 3 next, hopefully with less rambling.